Welcome to another episode of Masterminds with James Allen. He is I, and I am him. Man, today, man, we got somebody special, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's get it. Man, we got my guy. Before I just give you guys his name, let me go ahead and just talk these stats. Man, it's been a while. We've been trying to figure out what these schedules, to get this going. But hey, we finally here, better late than never. But let me just go ahead and get this quick intro, and then we'll get into it. Man, this guy originally from Columbus, Ohio, went to school at UTA, and
Yes,
man, we are connected. He is more than just a person I follow, I speak with, on social media. Check in. This guy is actually my brother. He is a fraternity brother of mine from the same chapter. So shout out to IA, Howard Alpha.
sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah, and
77, baby. Let's do it.
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, we just had that anniversary. So shout out to all the noobs at IA. Hey, this for y'all. We on the map.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
let's get it.
sir.
This gentleman went to school at UTA for broadcast journalism and digital media. And then after graduating from UTA, he went on to work in corporate America 1.5 years. And then from there, he wanted more. He was seeking achievement. So he went on to build a media company. And he actually did that in college, pardon me, and then went full time roughly a year and a half after graduating. And then, did that for some years and, did some investing as well. He's always, had that entrepreneurship mindset and, looking to get it. And then, 2019, he kind of got that bug about real estate and got a few deals in 2020 and bought his first house in 2021. And then since then, man, my guy's been getting to it. And I'm gonna call it ISO. I'm gonna clear out. I'm gonna let him talk his shit. But since then, man, he's been getting into it with Silver Key out of Dallas. And man, just some exciting things. So without further hesitation, I'd like to welcome Chris Clark to the Masterminds podcast. How you doing, Noop?
Oh man, I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you for getting me on here, man. And, you definitely hyped me up on that intro, bro. I'm still a young shark in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you're getting it though. Hey, just because you're young don't mean you can't eat. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gotta eat.
yeah,
And I guess I'll roll into it, bro. I mean, like, I appreciate it, man. But I just trying to stay on topic with what you're doing here, man. I mean, it's amazing talking to these people, figuring out what they journeys and things like that. And I don't talk about my journey much, just because I don't get asked, right?
yeah.
Lately, since I've been getting a little bit of attention, man, people ask how my RE journey and stuff is, but I mean, man, this where I'm at currently, bro. It's been, I say, 10 years in the making. Like, it's been me shoveling the same piece of dirt, man, till I done got to that piece of gold, every day. I mean, all of my buddies in college, man, I used to see me up every day getting after it, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's been a long time, bro. So I mean, I like the moment I graduated college, I knew that life is all about tools, you know. And so I said, okay, well, what tool do I got that I can just leverage right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. I figured I was good at shooting video, things like that. Or I got a degree. Let me get some stability, go into corporate, and figure out corporate video because there's got to be money there, right?
Right. Right.
Because I knew money was a tool. So I always wanted to follow my tools, pack my toolbox. That was kind of my little theme, you know what I'm saying? So then got into corporate video, bro. And I tell you what, I was going crazy. I mean, trying to prove value. I mean, like and I was doing social media marketing too, as well as corporate video, all in one role. You know what I'm saying? They was paying me
Mm-hmm.
like 30 grand a year, bro. And I mean, I'm telling you, I like 2,000x their impressions. And this was before social media was crazy,
Come on.
2017. So I 2,000x their impressions, took their content platform to a whole nother level. I'm pressing video. They didn't see the vision really of it, and it was a nonprofit. So they saw a vision in me, but they didn't see the vision of what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would ask for a bigger budget. I would ask to be working remote because I can work efficiently there. And
Right.
then at that moment when they told me, and mind you, bro, I used to walk in there, sit in my desk, edit, do what I got to do, go out to site visits, come back, get back in my desk, and then leave. So there was no reason for me to be there, right?
Right.
But I asked them to work remote. They told me no. That's when I knew that I was like, okay, something's got to change. It's got to be more to life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I can't go home, but these guys are controlling my time. So, anyways, man, what kicked off that deal? Like a year or two ago, at that time, I was shooting regular basic gigs, things like that. But the moment I knew that I could build a media company was when they hired an external video company come in and do their big videos for the year. And I seen their invoice from that company, right? It was like 15,000 for 4 videos. And so
Half a year's of your salary.
exactly, bro. So
Yeah.
I start doing the math. You telling me that, and I'm like, I can do that. Like I probably can't do it right now, but I can figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I told myself, I'm like, you mean to tell me they think that I'm worth this little? You know what I mean? And
Yep.
and I'm doing so much. So at that point, bro, I had told them, hey, in about 6 months, I'm gonna go ahead and go. So I told myself, hey, you got 6 months to build up your company because you're going full time. I ain't
Yep.
even, I don't recommend going cold turkey. I don't recommend people just quitting their job.
I
But
did it.
yeah, it wasn't for me, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I
So
did it. Yeah.
yeah, plus I was like, and I was shoot. So I'd go to work from 9 to 5, and then from 5 to about 7, I'd go shoot. But I'd make what I made in that day that I was already at work. So I'm like, I'm just doubling up, but I can make this full time. Anyways, man, after that, I put my head down, bro. I was shooting 7 days a week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years straight, weddings on the weekends, any little gigs I can put my hand on. If I ain't had nothing booked, I'm showing up. Dallas, we got events, Tuesday through Sunday. I'm showing
Yep.
up to every event for free, shooting a whole recap, hitting the organizer, shooting them a video. Hey, just keep me in mind next time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yep.
in everybody's ears. I'm at every single event. All the hot players, you name it, clubs, painting sips, anything. I would shoot anything, right? Just to get my hands on it. And I'm shooting weddings. I'm shooting low end weddings. I'm $500 to $3,000 budget. I'm taking everything for years, bro. So I probably took 20 days off the entire year, including the holidays.
And how long were you going at that pace?
I was doing that from 2017 to about 2020, just about till the pandemic hit.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 years
Yep.
straight. And my wife, man, she or my fiance, I call her my wife, but she would attest, man, because I would be gone all day, all the time, bro. And I would just get it, come back, get it. 12 to 12, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, anyways, like I always think that was part of it. But as I was doing all of those things, bro, I used to have this burning fire every day. And I used to be like, man, there's more to it. There's more to it from the corporate world. Then I figured out there was more. And I was like, well, if it's more to that, it's got to be more to this, you know? So I was able to scale my video business because, it's a service-based business. So I was able to
Right.
scale it based off the service, and I was a one-man band. I didn't, I was very, I'd say frugal. So I like to stack my cheese, man. And I knew that I needed cheese to move up. So I couldn't pay nobody. I couldn't pay no extra shooter. I couldn't pay no editor. I just stay up till 3 a.m.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Let's stop right there, man. Because, bro, you going off. I said I was going to run that ISO, but I'm like, hey, goddamn, throw that ball back now. But I appreciate you. Hey, you goddamn. I mean, we ain't even how long we've been in this probably like a couple of minutes. You drop gems. And man, I appreciate that, bro. And so first thing, I don't know if y'all caught that, but from the beginning when he graduated undergrad college, a key word you said, bro, when you got out, the thing you said is, I knew that money was a tool, and you're using money as a tool, and that is key. I mean, for so many different things, regardless of if you're in corporate America, if you're doing that grind, regardless if you're an entrepreneur, regardless if you're running an empire, your perception of money is very, very important.
Now, and that's the thing too. Like, it's just about how you perceive it, because
yep,
we and it's said everywhere, bro. I mean, in any different podcast or any media platform, is that we're conditioned to think of money a certain way. we're conditioned to be in a scarcity mindset. Well,
Right.
I had that scarcity mindset because I'm used to, just penny pinching in college and things like that. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Of
when I got
course.
my corporate job, it was a come up, but it wasn't much. So I'm still pinching, but I knew like, okay, things can happen when you have this tool. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I knew. I didn't know details, I didn't know nothing, but I knew, hey, it's a tool. So let's go after and go as hard as you can and then look up and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I definitely could relate to you because in college I was, like many others trying to make ends meet. And the only difference though, man, and what I admire about your mindset is immediately after you got out of undergrad, you were ready, saving your money. And I did that too. But I ain't gonna lie to you, when I was making that, what, like, 40, 45K a year at this corporate job, shit, all I wanted to do was do the things and buy the things that
Oh,
yeah.
now
I
don't
mean,
get
yeah,
me wrong.
ball on a
Yeah.
budget, but
Now
yeah,
don't get me wrong. Now,
yeah,
like I was stacking, but I wasn't like, I wasn't pinching. So it's hard, bro. We could talk about this for days, but my
yeah.
entire life, bro, not only did I knew that was a tool, but I was like, when people say like, you know, they finesse, like I was the great finesse. Like my book probably would be like the key to the top. I swear to God, this entire time I'd finesse my way, and I call it leverage, right? I use
Mhm.
leverage to my way, but in the urban world, it's finesse our way to
Yep.
the top. So when I was in college, bro, when I was a student athlete, so I did get a small little $200 a month pension, right?
Hmm.
That ain't nothing though. But man, I went and got food stamps, bro. I got two jobs. I was working two jobs, and then one of my jobs, bro, I was on a cone of ice on a snow cone joint, right?
Hmm.
And I was just rocking that bad boy from like 8 to 12. But so I
Hmm.
worked a 3 hour shift and hit that shift. But the only way you could get food stamps at the time is you had to work 21 hours. I was only work a week. I was only working six. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I had to go through and finesse a little pay stub or two and let them know that making $21 an hour. So boom, now my food taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But after when I got out of college, obviously they snatched it when I got a job.
Of course.
But in that time frame, I was still shooting and doing little small gigs, but I was stacking so much to the side. When I finally started getting that salary, every couple week check or once a month check. Yeah, bro, I bought out one, got me an apartment. I think the first 6 months I ain't buy groceries, because I used to eat the same meals in college. I used to eat oatmeal in the morning. I used to eat a ham and cheese sandwich for lunch and some
Yeah.
type of pasta for dinner every day for 4 years. Every day, So I had to break the mold. And then I went and bought me like a little Mazda 3, tricked it out, threw some 12s in the back, everything. And
Yeah.
then drove it for like 4 months, and I was like, this ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So what I gotta do? Go cop the A4. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And obviously I was weighing over my head, interest rates too high, but it made me feel good. But it
Right.
also made me work really hard because like if I knew I could only, because at the time I think my Mazda 3 was like 250 a month, bro. The Audi 420. So I had to make sure that I knew I could rise my income up to match that, plus the new
Hmm.
insurance. So it did make me go a little harder, but it also made me feel more confident, make me feel like I could go after more things. It made me feel like when I pull up to anything business or professional related, I'm gonna be taken serious. So
They're
I
not
look
going
at
to
it as an
question you.
investment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I look at it as an
Absolutely.
investment.
And that's another thing, because you hear so many people like these financial gurus and like, oh, don't buy the car, don't buy that. And it's like, okay, I get that, but at the same time, like
You
you're
gotta get out
saying,
your system.
you got it. Yeah. And not only that, it's like you put yourself in that environment and you put yourself, you see it, you feel it, and you're affirming those things and visualizing the lifestyle you want. And once you start to put like a luxury car or an apartment into it, I mean, that subconsciously is reiterating whatever
Well,
you're telling
people
yourself.
like that fake it till you make it is real. Like
Yes, sir.
you really become whatever you faking.
Bro, I've seen so many people fake their asses all the way to the top. Like, and then you like,
Bro,
oh, yeah.
I'm not, and as bad as it say, like I have, like, bro, before I got into real estate, I was telling people I was an investor. I
Yeah.
was telling people I
Yeah.
got 30 deals. I'm up there before, way before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you just start to believe it.
Absolutely.
Before, like, there's little things. I was telling this group, man, a couple weeks ago, I was telling them, hey, before like, somebody randomly was like, Chris, you know how to fly a drone? Absolutely, I do. I had no idea. I had no idea. But guess who spent the next 6 hours on YouTube looking at it? And then I spent the next hour practicing right before I went there to go fly that drone. You know
Come
what I
on.
mean? It's like, then I flew and I said, I sucked at it, but I'll get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's you up.
And that's another thing is a lot of people, that fake it till you make it. That's the thing that was missing. If you're listening to everything you're saying, you're putting in the work.
Mhm.
Like you're investing the time, sitting your ass down in YouTube for 6 hours and then practicing. Some people will just say whatever and then not put any effort behind it.
Yeah,
So
the only way you're
man,
gonna make it if you fake it is if you put work behind it. You know what I mean? That's
right,
pretty much it. So
right.
I mean that was my way of the game, man. And so, like I said, once I got full time, I was grinding. And since I knew, hey, this is like, I can build a company around shooting video. I can shoot X amount of weddings and be sustainable. And at the time, I quit my job when I had the new whip and all of that stuff. So I'm like, I still, there was months I ain't make nothing. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then I had to sit back and still pay all of these bills. So I went ahead, bro, and I started saying, okay, there's got to be a way these guys who are entrepreneurs are protecting their money. Okay. I think I got up to doing, I think we started off doing 2017. We were doing like 2,000 a month in revenue. I got up to doing about 10,000 a month net revenue, right around mid 2019, right before the pandemic hit. And that's when I started exploring options.
And that all that revenue is that all related to media
Yeah,
efforts?
that
That's
was
your
all
media.
media.
You're
That was,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that was my
Okay.
company, CC2 Media, which
Okay.
I don't talk about as often just because I've been focused in the RE, but
Yeah.
that
You better
company,
talk that shit now. Hey, plug it. Go ahead and talk
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
CC2,
let's go ahead and
yeah,
say it.
the
Yeah.
full production service company. Nowadays, we have about 5 retaining contracts that we service companies monthly. A few documentaries we've been working on, and just
Dope.
annual things. So it's more kind of a self-running company. So a lot of things happened in between that 2019 to COVID friendly deal. So, when COVID shut everybody down, nobody needed videos. All the companies
Right.
dropped my contracts, you know. And it was so funny, man, because I've been talking to my girl about all these different investments, and it's all new to all of us in 2019. But then when COVID hit, everybody came out with courses. They came out with, everybody started talking all that good stuff, right? I was literally, and shout out to my fiance, man. I literally that January, I went through 5 rounds with Discount Tire, because I was about to go back into the corporate world,
Mm-hmm.
talking to VPs and CEOs and all of this stuff to get back into the video media space, bro. I was demanding like 80,000 just off top. That's what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Their position, the application was like 50, bro. And so I ended up, I just came, I'm gonna apply, but I'm gonna tell you what I need. But I ended up going through all those rounds, man, and they were like, hey, we want to hire you, but if we hire you, everybody else who's been here for 3-4 plus years they're gonna lose their shit because you're gonna be making more than anybody on our team. And I was like, you can hire me. So they ended up figuring out a way to build all these incentives that's not on my actual salary. And they got me up to, I think it was like 67, which was cool because, I wasn't making nothing because of the pandemic.
Right.
Looked at my wife, man. I said, hey, I got to pay the bills. Like, I might have to go ahead and take that one. Or she had a friend, one of our best friends. He was in real estate out in Detroit. She's like, you should holler at him. You've been talking about this and that. You should holler at him. And so I said, let me give bro a call.
Yeah.
And I gave him a call. He's like, look, man, come work for me. You can learn all you need to know. And then short and simple. And I was like, bet, you know what I mean? He asked for nothing. And then shout out to him too, man. So that's the other thing. I got with him, quickly realized that this is going to be my mentor. And I mean, for the next 6 months, I studied the game. I studied how to wholesale. I studied how to become an acquisition guy, how to talk to sellers, how to source deals, how to do all of these things, man. And at the time, huh?
And out of Detroit, was it mostly a wholesale shop, or was he flipping? Was he buying whole? What was he doing?
He to keep it simple, he did a lot of wholesale. Majority of his volume is wholesale, but he's got this most amazing turnkey model. man, shout out to Zach, man, at Offer Geek Homes, man. I got to put him out there because he
Shout
has,
out Zach.
yeah, he has a turnkey model that nobody's doing out there, and I mean, he's shutting down the city at this point. But it was a couple years ago when he really started ramping up COVID, actually. So got under him, man, and he taught me the wicks of the trade, taught me how to talk. I mean, and that was I told him too because I think I had a little bit of cheese, man. And I told him, I said, hey, I can pay you whatever you want. I just want to learn the game. He said, nah, come work with me. That'll be enough for me, and I'll teach you what you need to know. Whenever you feel like you ready to fly, you good to go. You know what I mean? He wouldn't even care about retention, but I ended up getting really cold. Like when I say 5 months into the game, I think I got my first deal around 3 months, but 5 months into the game, man, I was one of the top guys on his team. And then, you know, and it's funny, man, because he knew it, but I already knew I couldn't be contained, you know. And when I say contained, I just knew that it was more for me than just acquiring deals. And then once I learned the entire spectrum of the actual wholesaling deal, I went out to do my own, and I still stayed on his team now. But I went out to get my own deals in Dallas because that's where all my people are and all my network and things like that. And I knew my net worth was there too. So I knew that's where my bread and butter was going to be because I knew majority of my network out there. And so I did one deal, man. My first deal was about 22,000. And I did that, I think the end of 2020, man. And then after that, bro, I think the sparks went off, like the whole fireworks did what it had to do. I looked at my wife, I showed her the wire. She didn't believe, she knew wholesaling, but she just didn't believe all this stuff was real when I started talking all these numbers. Showed her the wire, man, and I said, and that wasn't a ton of money at the time, but it was one time.
One time, yeah.
One time, you know what I'm saying? So that's the big difference, because I was, mind you, I was making 92,000 a month. So I wasn't new to, a couple zeros, but it was the fact that I got that in one time and in 3 weeks. So from contact to close. 3 weeks. So I'm like, hold up. I start mathing the math. And then I said, okay, let's turn it up. You know what I mean? So after that, bro, I mean, I just start ramping up on both ends with him, doing some deals in Dallas, man, just stacking my capital up, learning the art of leverage, talking to banks, figuring out business credit, legitimizing everything, talking to lenders. I mean, just talking to everybody. And then he would.
Okay, but who sparked the interest to because a lot of wholesalers. No. I mean, well, not even after that. Well, I do want to ask you that, but I mean, because
and I forgot something too.
Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but in the pandemic, man, the stock market was going crazy. That's where I got my big break. I failed to mention that, man. And I got a video that I've been saving to post that my wife had took of me. But I used to wake up hours early every day. I think I bought a course, man, early pandemic, but for I swear to God, a year, man. I don't think I shot video that year. I might have shot a little bit, but I was knee deep in the stock market, bro. But when you look at the graph, everything was going up. So,
right.
I didn't know it at the time, but I learned everything. I mean, options is now a fad now, but it wasn't when I first learned it. And I put my whole team on, man, and then my friends, family, everybody I knew. But I ran up the options so crazy. And then at that time, I pulled out all my options money, dumped it into crypto, pulled all of that out when it ran up. And then so that's how I got my actual start.
So you pulled your crypto out in time.
Yeah, I pulled my crypto out at the height. Okay. It was right before the height. And that's when I went ahead and purchased my first deal with that money.
Got you.
So I had a little bit of cheese, but I didn't have just flush away money. Everything was paying for bills, but I took the option money, turned into crypto money, and then pulled that out. And that's what I used to buy my first deal.
So you financed your first deal completely by yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So in between all of this time, man, so there's like 4 or 5 layers, but in between all of this time, man, I met with let me back up. So I had a realtor call me and say, well, let me back up too, bro. It's crazy. So the way I even got hip to real estate is that I knew real estate. There was no real estate videos back in 2018. So I reached out to every single realtor, every single company in the DFW and told them, let me shoot their videos for free. And they were like, oh, no, we don't need videos. Photos are okay. Push the fold. Video is the way. Anyways, I
The
used to leave
only
on
way
my
now.
yeah, and now it's crazy. But I used to leave
Mm-hmm.
on my lunch break, bro, to go shoot those videos for free. And then I would edit them in my desk and try to get it to those people. And then once they started seeing some return, they started getting with me. But anyway, fast forward later.
Let's stop there because that's another thing I wanna hit on because I mean I know you got a lot of stuff you're dropping and gems you're
Yeah.
dropping, but I want to highlight some of these things as we go along.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
another gem that you've dropped that you haven't said explicitly is that anytime you tap into something new, because I get calls all the time. I would say the majority of my volume is wholesaling.
Yeah.
And so um I get people all the time like hitting me up about different things. Hey man, I want to tap in with you, I want to work with you, blah blah blah. But the one thing that you'll hear a lot with entrepreneurs is leading with value.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing, bro, that I'm hearing from you is in any industry that you're entering, you're always leading with value. Any network, any person, you're leading with value. When it goes back to making these videos, when you first started your video company, you would go out to all these major events, create the video for free, give it to the person, and then let them give them a sample of your work, and bring them back. You're leading with value. No one asked for it, you're giving it to them. When you're the realtors, you're calling them up, giving them free videos, and letting them see the quality, and
Mm-hmm.
you're leading with value. Or
Leverage.
what? Yeah. Or you call it leverage. And when you're talking to Zach out of Detroit, you're saying you're calling him. You offer to give him money, but you're leading with value because you're giving time, and he's able to do more by leveraging other people's time and all that kind of stuff. And then in turn, you're getting a game. That's a key thing. People lead with value. Figure out
100%.
how figure out how you can help an entrepreneur, how you could bring value to them, make their life easier, and then do it.
And that's how you
And
get to it. A lot of people always, they just blatantly, for some reason, I guess because I'm still, normal to them. They just blatantly, hey, how did you get rolling? Sometimes if I got time, I'll just tell them like, this is how I got started.
yeah,
But sometimes looking at these messages like, man, do you know how much it cost me to figure out how I got started? You know what I mean? I'm not here to gatekeep, man, because I think that was a big deal that I noticed.
exactly.
So I just, I try to give as much as I can, man. But that's the
Yeah.
key, provide value. And so this is the big thing what I was about to say is that fast forward later, I think I went from, 80% weddings to, 80% weddings and 20% just miscellaneous or whatever, bro, to 55% of my clientele was real estate videos. And then the other half, it just broke up. But so I was in the field, everybody. And then the thing about real estate videos back then, bro, it was easy. I would shoot for 45 minutes. It'd take me 10 minutes to edit it. And you could charge whatever because nobody knew what the value was worth.
Right.
So I'm hitting them on the head, But oh my gosh, I used to love them. So I pack out my schedule, 8 videos in a day. I come out the day with 2 bands in my pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, this is how we about to run the play for a little bit until it runs out. But anyways, I got a call from another realtor. He said, hey man, I got an investor buddy who want to start recording his videos and showing his stuff. How much do you charge? Put me on the phone with him. It don't matter what I charge, but because all the way back here, I said, he's an investor. And, I like to try to invest in anything I could, but I played no mind to it. I said, let me play my role, right? Got with the guy, shoot a couple videos, let him do his thing. And then, he was doing more insights and stuff. So, bro, my guy, who's now my mentor now, was talking some of the most ridiculous numbers he was doing in real estate that I think I've ever seen on a video in my life. And so I'm shooting this video like I'm on the wrong side, bro.
Right.
I want to put this down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, after we shoot, hey man, so what, like, are those true numbers or are you just beefing for the camera? What's up? And so he's like, nah, man, so I stayed with him, shot with him a lot, man. And then over time, I just told him, hey, what's up, bro? This is what I told him. I said, listen, because he would always call me for videos weekly, right? And I said, listen, I will produce the rest of the videos for the rest of your life if you teach me what you got, teach me like anything, or just let me ride with you and shoot your video at the same time. You know, whatever you need, let's put it together. And he was hesitant at first, man, because it's real sauce. You know, he's like, man, I don't know. Well, and I said, okay, well, I got I got, X amount. I don't know if your viewers, I don't know how comfortable people are with numbers on here, but it sounds like they're pretty comfortable. But I'm like, hey, I had about the time, bro, I had about like 35,000 to my name. And I told him, I got 35 to my name. I'll give you every ounce right now in a check, because you just talk numbers that I just don't understand, Yeah. He's still hesitant. But then I said, okay, I'm not gonna press the phone no more. We kept shooting videos, but I stopped charging him, just off GQ. He said, hey, how much I owe you? Don't worry about it. And I didn't even ask for nothing. I didn't even ask, like, you just take care of me on the back end. I ain't say nothing. How much I owe you? Don't worry about it, Rich. I'm gone. I'll shoot him his videos and I chop up a few extra, just boom, whatever. Then he said, hey man, why you been shooting my videos for free? Eventually you're gonna talk to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Eventually. And then because he didn't know me, right? So then once we done rolled in the truck long enough and then went and got something to eat and he started learning what kind of hustler I am, he like, oh man, this my kind of guy. So then it went to him, me and him rolling around. He's showing me deals, showing me things he's doing with the whoop, the whole nine. And then we finally just connected, man. He told me he'll show me what he how to get rolling in the actual flipping building. But at the time, I was already wholesaling. So I started selling him deals. And then he had a team. So he would call me to pick up deals. So I started marketing for the certain types that he was buying, because he already told me the insider game, and he had 3 or 4 people that needed deals at the time. So boom, I'm scooping them up deals. So I had an insider buyer circle of like 5 people, bro, floating the mugs like butter, and so it went again. You wholesale, you see, like, I mean, imagine having 5 people, they'll buy it 100%. If you get these criterias and nobody else have access to them.
I do. I actually, that's the model I have right now. I don't do blast.
Yeah, you in the game,
Yeah.
So it's like
I don't have 5. I'm looking for 5, and but I mean, I've got about a solid 3 right now. Yeah.
That's the method, man. And obviously it's a different market now, but that's what I had acquired just off out of nowhere. And so, you check before you know it, you're like, yes, sir, I'm out here. You know what I mean? So then I came to him and said, look, bro, I'm a little beef now, let's get to it. He taught me how to source or how to source the type of deals, because it was more heavy reconstruction, like not necessarily fix and flipping, but more really big reconstruction, taking down to the studs, doing heavy additions, restructuring the whole face. I mean, and for any new investor, that is not the place you want to start. Like, bro.
Right. Carpet, paint, light updates.
Yes, things you can do, things you can Google and do yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe a new countertop, and that's even
light. Yeah.
Like, sheesh. Jesus Christ, nobody ever do it. So I went down the rabbit hole. I mean, my first deal was the rabbit hole. So, anyways,
let's talk about it.
Man, I guess my first 2 deals, man. So I bought a deal, and at the same time, my wife was pregnant. And so
damn.
Yeah. So I had all of 2021, she was pregnant. And I had bought my first deal. She had like 2 months left, something like that. But I'm like, look, it don't fucking matter. We about to figure it out, In my head, I was gonna go as hard as I could.
So you did a full gut with a newborn on the way.
Yep. Well, pretty much. I did a full gut, and I built a new house with like a 2-month-old. And between her being pregnant to giving birth to a 2-month-old, he was there to witness to the final bit of it, bro. So yeah,
bro,
it was
you
crazy.
Really him, man. You him.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I'm telling you. So the gut job, man. I mean, it was 1,300 square foot home, man. One of my favorite wholesalers to this day, man. He sent it to me. I didn't even look at it, bro. I just worked the numbers and it worked for me. but I didn't know nothing I was doing, man. I didn't know the area. It was right by a train, by the way. Very bad deal. But I was so fixated on just getting a deal, you
Yeah.
know. And the market just showed me favor at the time. It showed me love. So, anyways, bro, crackhead stayed in there the whole nine. A little bit of fire by the dryer. I mean, 6 foot or 7 foot ceilings, 6 foot ceilings, something like that. Very bad, right? Man, I went up in there and I tore the entire house down to the studs all around, the roof off, decking, everything.
Damn.
And we did about 1,000 foot addition to the back, do about 1,000 square feet on the back, restructured the entire face, man, and then put it back together, you know. And so,
And how did you learn how to do that? Because I mean, was that by riding around with your mentor?
kind of. So yeah, my mentor. So I was able for that. I was with him for about 6 months, like almost every day, and
Mm-hmm.
I would see his phases, and he would talk me through things, and I'm inquiring about stuff. But I mean, so I would call him to ask about, hey, what's next? Hey, what's next? Hey, what's next? But in between all of that stuff, I mean, he kind of let me, shout out to him because I'm really very well tough right now, but he let me fold in some areas because it was some things that I had to go through, I had to experience personally because I had to make the call, So for example, the demo, right? He said you just need to go ahead and demo it. I don't know what that means, but I know that I need to go find a demo crew, and I know what demo to the studs mean. So I hired somebody to do that, right? Then I walk it, and I'm like, I don't have no clue what's next too. Well, he said, now you got to fix your foundation. But what are you gonna do? Do you want to keep it? Do you want to do an addition? I'm like, well, the value is an addition, right? He's like, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna do an addition. So I gotta go find a foundation guy. All I know, I don't know numbers. I don't know what's market, retail, what you can get for the low. I don't know anything. All I know is you just pay the guy. So I overpaid a foundation company to come in and do my addition. I didn't know if it was right or not, but it looked good to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So it was a lot of blind work. And shout out to those people who did it because they did good job, man. And my first deal actually did numbers. So in between that, the hardest part was once I got the structure up because your bigger phases, they just do what they got to do. You know what I mean? They follow the plans, they get it done. You rarely have to check through a lot of things. It's when you get particulars when you do that. But you could build a house, get it dry in, no true issues, right? Is when you want to start going your plumbing foundation or your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical, your sheetrock. That's when it starts getting deep and difficult because all of that makes a big difference, flooring and then finish out, right? So, luckily enough, man, by the time I got the sheetrock, I hired like he was a GC kind of, but he was one of them jefes who knew everybody, who had everything for everybody. So I just paid him his price, but he took care of pretty much everything up until up until like cabinet install and stuff. Like for example, bro, I was talking to a guy the other day. He was trying to charge me, damn near $100 a cabinet to install, and I'm like, bro, I ain't paid that since I started. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so,
Right.
anyways, I got raked on the head to put my cabinets in to do everything, and then so I overspent on the deal, but I learned so much, man. And so, he walked at each phase, said it was cool, told me I should do this and that. And that first house, bro, I built without permits too. So I had to navigate through the city. I had to navigate through all of that, man. And it was extreme. I mean, it was like one of them people that'll make you quit,
Yeah. Yeah.
quit, man. So that was it.
So how long? How long did it from begin to
So
end?
so we bought it at the end of November, right?
November of 2020?
2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, 2021. Because I was doing small flips in Detroit in 2020. That was something else. But
Okay.
I bought that one in October, I'm sorry, of 2021. I didn't start building it until like end of November. My son came in December 3rd. So I started building like the week before he came. You know what I mean?
So we're talking about almost damn near exactly a year, last year.
When it comes to my first actual reconstruction, yes, 100%. Now there was a little bit of there was like I've done little deals, a couple paints, some hotels you'll call them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I didn't really consider them projects though. You know what I mean? They just
No,
didn't.
no yeah. I'm not even talking about, I'm just really talking about, the only reason I'm asking about timeline is because there's a quick shut off because first, well, I'm waiting to hear about your dispo. If this is a buy and hold, or if
Oh
this
no, we
is,
sold that one.
and that's why I'm really trying to understand the timeline because 2022, like soon as you hit about summertime, like when the buyers start to
They shipped
scatter.
back.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, so we actually finished the build around the end of March. So it
Okay.
took me so I didn't really start till like latter December. So it took me about 5 months,
Okay.
which was still good. I didn't know at the time. I thought I was taking forever, but it's still pretty decent. Um, so we got under contract. I think at the was the end of March or early April, man, and that was the first deal. That named me triple figure. You know what I'm saying? That was a triple digit play right there.
Man, because around that time, people are just putting in shit over ask and being super aggressive, especially in the Dallas market. So that's why I was asking about the timing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I added about 200,000 worth of value into the deal. I baked
How
it in
much?
about 200,000 worth of value into
Woo!
the deal. You know
Jesus.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I bought it for 65,000 and ended up selling for 300,000. Yeah. So
How much did it cost? Because you stripped it down to the studs.
it's,
So how,
uh,
how
it
how much how much were you all in?
I was all in right around 185.
Mm,
Yeah, so it cost me 120,000 to put it up.
that's what's up. So yeah, drinks on you when I hit down Dallas. Yes,
Yeah, man.
sir. Now that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It was a big deal. So I knew it was possible, and I knew I could lower my margins, man. And then obviously, I didn't count all of the stuff. So get plus or minus another 20K because I
Sure.
probably overspent quite a bit. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And just time being away from the project with my son and interest and things like that, man. So
But Chris, isn't it crazy? Like when we come from, like we're saying, making 30, 40, 50, 60K a year to making to having 6-figure months.
mhm.
That, and then it's like, yo, when you understand, like, yo, it's possible.
That's what it was.
And
Yeah. It's
it,
it's
yeah.
that click, that you can like. It's funny, man. I hate saying this, but it's you can write your own check. You
Yeah.
know, you can write your own check, and this is with any industry, but in real estate, man, I realized that. And I was going back and forth with my lenders recently. I'm like, the value is when you widen your spread, that's how you survive. And you only got to do that by baking in value in these deals, man. And they're not here. They even in the hot market when people's overpaying, regular flippers are only coming out of the end 40, 50,000, bro. They're only making, you know, they're making as much as wholesalers would do for a couple deals. You know what I mean? Doing
Yeah.
all the work. They're doing all the work. So yeah, it's not, hey, it's not worth it, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I did have a little small wholesale op. Now I just run the plays off, blind huddles when I can. Because that wholesale side is just that's more of a poof. Here's some money, Like I'm finishing a deal right now, bro. And this is my first seller finance assignment, bro. But them
Mm,
hoes is easier than actual regular wholesales because you don't need the equity, you don't need the percentages of ARV. It just needs the cash flow, and people
yes,
will pay for
sir.
your cash flow.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, it's crazy, bro. I'm wrapping up a deal right there. I literally started, a week or two ago, and we buyers are flooding the gates. You know what I mean? So,
So you're saying it's not a wrap. You're saying it's actual seller
well, it's
finance.
subject to, it's assumable. They're going to
Okay.
assume the note for sure.
Okay.
They'll assume the note, but the way it worked is that and I'm working on multiple of those, but the one that I just finished wrapping up is that I was able to uh, require my down payment is my assignment fee to get into the
Mm,
assumable, right?
mm,
Because if you have a $500 cash flow gross, people usually, and the way I do it, people usually pay about anywhere from 8 to 10,000 per $100 cash flow, right?
mm.
So at 500 gross, you could walk out of $38,000 you could ask for, and people will pay for it to assume that cash flow. Now, obviously that's at the top, but you ask somebody for 10, 11, 12, anything around that line, they're gonna up it easy. Where's the wiring instructions, you know? So anyways, you figure out how fast your deals can just start flowing, man. And then I also realized that in that first deal, doing that was the same thing as building a new construction. Um, and 10 times easier, I say. So that's why I started trying to focus myself on new constructions, because A, that was, it's all a fad, right? But B, I knew that based off of what I studied in real estate, obviously other than the crash, when values start to get weird, the only ones who are going to hold strong is new construction, right? The only reason why they're going to hold strong is because they're the most desirable. That's it. Flips won't. Flips are going to always sell, but they won't hold as in value, because in someone's eyes, it looks refurbished. And no matter how you do it, someone's eyes, they like the outside is still the same as it was before they bought it. Now, new construction is, you think you coming into a brand new home, right?
Right.
And you're already going to receive value depending on how these people sell it. So in flips and things like that, the values are all over the place, but you know what you're gonna get when you get into new construction. So I felt like it was a little bit more stable for me.
And right now, with the interest rates the way they are and the competition, I don't know. Here in Houston, there is like the buyers can be a lot more picky than they were. Yeah. I mean, when I'm saying like the buyer of the flip.
Your retail buyers.
Your retail buyers, they are going to blue tape everything. They're going to ask for all kinds of concessions. And
man, I had a flip that set on the market, man. They asked me for $5,000 concessions, bro, for repairs that didn't need to be repaired. The buyer wanted me to put a ladder in the attic, or ladder attic space. It's like, bro, I'm not doing that, so everybody's a lot more picky than before, man. But
what, just 6 months removed or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
But the beautiful part about my motto and what we do, man, is that we're all in. We're not all in, but we get our deals about a 40% ARV, new construction. So I have such a nasty spread in my deals that no matter what interest rate comes, no matter how much the market changes, I'll just correct myself there, and I'm still going to do decent. And if I keep it, I'm still going to be the snatch up, just similar to the amount that I would profit if I sold it, So
no, I was doing some research on your company, and you're mainly targeting inner city Dallas.
Yeah, we're inner city. So we're focused on affordable luxury, and then we obviously try to hit the hot areas. But we have since moved really deeply into South Dallas. We're in there. I mean, as thick as everybody else. I mean, there's a few other big builders out there, but we're up there, man, in South Dallas. So we're focusing on, there's a lot of spec builders or custom builders who just hit base runs, basic brick, white on white, couple homes. What we're targeting is being able to have a buyer come in that under 400K range, even 300K range, and feel like they just bought $1 million home. You know what I mean? So we're working on heavy affordable luxury. The problem is it does beef our cost margin when it comes to construction and finishes and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, it's worth all the while. You know what I mean? When you get to the bottom of it.
So when you say affordable luxury, what is it in the secret sauce? I mean, is it just the finishes? Is it more like not so much kind of basic to intermediate grade? Are you just putting in like better finishes or what?
Yeah, I mean, you got to ask yourself, okay, what do you consider luxury and what's in those homes, right? Everything's oversized. Like it's spacious, not even open concept, but a spacious open concept. So your living, kitchen, your masters, all your bedrooms are way bigger than they're supposed to be in the hood. And I mean, you got your gold finishes, you got your marbles, you got your 90-inch islands that you don't, normally you got a 40 or 30-inch island in a regular South Dallas home. I mean, you got features completely can recess. In most bedrooms, they don't put, in most spares, they put one fixture, is your ceiling fan, right? Your light, that's all your light. But we throwing cans at everywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Little touches. 5-inch baseboards, regular flat
Mm-hmm.
MDF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going
Mm-hmm.
thick 5 panel doors. I mean, we up it. We would put anything you put in a 600K home in those homes. And it doesn't cost you too much of a difference.
Okay. Okay. And as far as in that price range, is a square foot comparable, or is it? I mean, because
Yeah,
I know
I mean,
you're
and they're
saying,
large. Like I mean, minimum 1,800 square foot. Like I kid you
Mhm.
not, my one of our deals, our master was like a 20 by 15.
Mhm.
You know, like this
Mhm.
dumb for no reason. It was crazy. And when a deal I just did, man, I had we're finishing building in Trinity Groves, which is a little bit different area, but it's similar, still kind of similar to a less, I guess urban. It's still an urban area, right? But I went ahead and just went away with a game room, bro, and made the entire game room the closet and bathroom. So I mean, you have a
Oh,
whole room.
damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have a whole room as your master bath, which is nuts.
Yeah.
12 feet wall, double
Women
shower head
love
ceiling.
that.
Come on,
Yeah, bro.
double shower head ceilings. We got freestanding tub. We have his and hers closet. These things that people would only get if they're paying about $1 million. Six, seven, eight hundred
Yeah.
thousand.
Yeah. Chris, I want to connect you with some developer friends I have here in Houston. Kevin, Aisha, Sheldon, they've actually done the podcast. We do have like an alumni group on Slack for all these entrepreneurs from
For
all,
UTA?
huh? No, 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 for the podcast. So everyone
Oh,
who's done the podcast, um, we have a group of us, all these different entrepreneurs. It's kind of a space for us to just collaborate and kind of kick game where we can. So I want to, as soon as we get done here, I'm going to send you the link for the app, but I do want to connect you with those builders, man, here in Houston. They're doing some
yeah, man. I want to go check
crazy
out
stuff.
some stuff, man. I mean, not like I said, I'm still very fresh in the game, man. I figured out a well model that works for me, but
Hmm.
I mean, we're looking to ramp up, man. I'm the next step for me is just buying. I'm trying to build my own little rental community.
Dope.
That's the next step.
I'm going to send you the link. Even the link too is Park Street Homes. Like they just finished up phase 4, which I think was 34 homes or something like
Mhm.
that in Third Ward.
Yeah,
But I do want to connect you. And yo, let me know whenever you want to come to the H. I got you. Well, I'll connect you and we can take a tour of their
hey, I come.
projects and
Yeah, I come down there all the time, man. I need to come check out. I got a guy, man. I don't know if you know, but Tyler McDaniel. I follow him on Twitter, man.
Mhm.
He looks like he's been doing it for a minute, man. He's always out there doing very similar things that I am.
Dope.
Um, so and there's another cat out there, man. I can't remember his name, but we were supposed to connect when he's in Dallas. But anyway, man, yeah, I'm trying to get down there, connect, see what guys are doing, see if there's anything I can take
Yeah,
back to Dallas, man.
for sure, for sure. So yeah, let me know. Let me know. But so yeah, just yeah, man, we kind of got into it so much about the I mean, just a lot of gems and so many questions, bro. So
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
need to bring you back on here and for a part 2 and really check in and tap into what how you're progressing in your company. But just a few things I'm curious about is, so we have all these different companies. How big is your real estate company at this
How
point?
big is it as far as member?
Yeah, employees. Like how big is it? Is it because I hear you say we a lot, and so is it just you and the wife, or the fiance, or how big's the team?
Yeah, no, it's me and her.
Awesome. Yeah.
Just straight up me and her.
Yeah.
I say we because I mean it is we, but
Absolutely.
I think that's a language thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it go, man. It's when you bring in more, it's just more impactful when you speak. So I think that's where that we comes from. But it's me and her.
Okay.
She pretty much, and the funniest thing is none of this would have started without her. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Without even kind of pushing me to go, because I might have been at Discount Tire right now.
Shout her out. Say her name, bro.
Oh, Charnel Johnson, man.
Hey, shout out
She,
Charnel. Shout out
yeah,
to you.
shout out to her, man. And then the last thing, bro, when I was trying to get funding, I didn't have the credit, and she did. And it took me some very long convincing, but I let her put her name. So she owns a couple houses in her name. You know what I
Dope.
mean? Obviously we're gonna get them out of there and all that stuff, but that's how we had to get rolling, you know. She's 50% owner of everything, and you know what I mean. Like I said, she believed in me, and all I did was just take off, you know. That's all I did. So I returned the favor, man. So yeah, we are just us two. I'm my own GC. I'm my own builder. I have an architect, but I kind of design what I want first and send it to him to go ahead and put into plans. Um, I
You're in
mean,
acquisitions.
I'm
You're
in
in.
acquisition.
You're
Nowadays, I do just buy from wholesalers. I do get a couple direct seller deals now that I'm in South Dallas. Crazy, man. People will just give me their
but
info
you
and
still have to run the numbers. You
yeah,
still got to
yeah,
run the
yeah.
yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
acquisitions, and then like I said, I always run a few little plays for myself, man. It's just to keep the lights on,
Yeah.
or to buy myself some shoes, you know.
Yeah, yeah. You have no doubt. Let me well, yeah, we could talk offline about that too, because I do have some of those buyers that I have here. They're in Dallas as well. So I'm actually looking for, yeah, we could run a couple plays too. We could
Yeah,
talk
no, I mean
offline
let's put it together. I mean, just off
for sure.
everything, because like I said, there's times obviously, we can't make something happen, but I mean, if they got certain criteria, like I'm more like very detailed. So if you say, Chris, I need
Zach.
I
Yeah.
need I need A and B in the zip code under this price, I can go hit that. But I don't have an inventory, like I don't have things rolling in. I go just hunt for the deal for somebody and call it a day.
And see, that's where, yeah, we'll talk offline, but yeah, we'll get into that. We don't need to
For
give
sure.
away all the sauce on here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But you've talked a few times about your son, so you guys are new parents, and
Hmm.
how's juggling that as an entrepreneur? It's a very demanding, and so you got a lot going on. You're juggling the relationship with your fiance and the relationship with your son,
Hmm.
and also expanding, growing. So yeah, talk about that. How is the juggling of all of that?
I mean, it's just I always look at it where it's like that saying, bro. It's like when you and I don't know it to verbatim, bro. When it's like with great, like opportunity, it comes with great struggle, you know. And I've always looked at it like that. But this shit's a struggle, and to be as real it is as I can be.
Yeah.
There's so many beautiful highlights to everything. But for me, because I'm the type of person where I get obsessed with things when I figure it out, or when I'm about to make a choice. Like whenever I'm about to buy a car, I research every single car, every single dealership. I'm up all night. I go there and there until I figure out. I obsess over decisions and things like that. So when I learned the real estate game, man, it was very obsessive for me. Um, and now I've built that built the company, but I built the model over it. So I'm constantly running things in my head, trying to get things going. So it makes me tap out sometimes from my home life.
Hmm.
And my wife talks to me about it all the time. And I have one phone, VoIP and things that are on there, but she wants me to get separate phones because I can turn one off. You know what I mean? And I've been considering it because it is a big deal now. But
I'm gonna
uh,
let you know. I'm gonna let you know right now, bro. I've got two phones. You don't turn them shits off. You just be answering two phones. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that right
dude,
now.
I
Yeah,
just knew I could put it in the cabinet or something and just walk away.
hell no. Like, yeah, we were. I mean, I'm going over a closing. We were in the movies. We went to go watch the Wakanda Forever when it came out, and I just closed earlier that day, and title companies reaching out to me about this and this woo woo, and I've got a couple of deals I'm looking over. I turned off my personal phone, but I mean, well, put my personal phone on silent, and then still had the other phone on silent. I'm still responding to both, so it don't stop. I mean, it don't stop.
Hey, I wish that wasn't the truth, man. But
I mean,
uh,
the way we do it is we scale and we put people in positions to kind of help with that. So we're not the first contact on all of those
well,
things.
see, and that's where we're in a position is as a company. We're starting to work on what can we look away from, what can we not,
Systems. Yeah.
and I am starting to realize now, especially when in the construction process, is there's a lot of things that I can just deal with later. But there are some things that are important. But as far as navigating that, man, it's just been a blessing. It's been something that it's been a challenge of his own self. I mean, you got to imagine my day to, and a lot of times I'm at the house, and I wake up earlier, hours earlier than everybody, just to make sure I'm on the phones and getting things done, and try to shower, all of that good stuff, right? But I mean, all day I'm on the phone. So I'm cooking on the phone. I'm playing with baby on the phone. I'm getting off the phone to make sure this and this is good. We had to hire a nanny to come in, and it's funny enough, she says it all the time, like, you didn't hire a nanny for me, you hired it for you. You know what I mean? So, because I'm a very active father, man. So I'm there all the time. I mean, I got him with me 9 times out of 10. I take him with me to the houses, and we're looking at everything if she got to work or do whatever. And so, um, I've just been trying to figure out how to make it work. Now I kind of, we know he has a routine, so I
Mm-hmm.
start to build my routine around his routine.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, we're a very freestyle type of structure, kind of navigating that family life to business life, because it just doesn't stop, man. It doesn't. And then, there's pressing things, and like right now, man, we got deals we're trying to wrap up. I got a house in South Dallas that we're like a touch of paint away from being done, man. And um, it's just it's difficult to think about all of these different things. Like, I need to get me a construction manager, and then I need to get me an admin. So I realized that, like, those are what takes up most of my time. And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to not be able to do it because I want to spend time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
pulling up the sites, making sure things are straight. I mean, it's just little stuff like that. So it's a struggle, man. But I think it's been pretty smooth.
And let me ask you this, because you and the fiance work together. Like, how is that? I mean, going from business partners to husband and wife to parents sometimes, like, because I know for me and my wife have started to work. We have our buy and hold entities with each other, and then but now she's starting to be my realtor on a lot of these transactions that I'm doing. It's difficult, bro, and we're all on the
How
same.
is that? Because I was gonna have her get her real estate license too.
It's good. I mean, I love it for the fact though. You know, on certain things I have to shut off, like, you know, not shut off, but I have to prioritize that the client realtor relationship is like, yo, I need this
This
done,
that, yeah.
yeah. And hey, I need to make sure you're looking out in my best interest and on these kind of things. And so and that's not a problem. The problem, the not the problem, the challenge comes in when we get home and I'm messing around and we've got the kids and we're going over dinner. And I'm like, yo, did you send a contract to me to sign or something like that? Or like, hey, like right now, is long story short is a drunk driver drove his damn truck into one of my rentals. Hit
Man,
hit it hit he hit his he hit the renters both of their cars, and one went into the garage. And the other one went straight into the living room, and then he hit the house as well. So it's nasty. And right now I'm ready to get this thing,
back up.
rehab
Yeah.
back up and rehabbed and gone. And so we have a difference in contractors that we want to go with. One of us is a good friend and everything, but the friend could do it in about 6 weeks. Some people I talk to, I know that some of my clients have used, can get it done in about, maybe 3 weeks or, possibly even sooner. And we're having arguments about that. So it's like, I got to go on date night tonight, but also we're trying to figure out like, yo, like,
What
what
we
you
gonna do?
doing?
Yeah,
Yeah. And so
yeah.
I'm the reason I'm asking that, because it is that,
And I will
constant
say,
balance. Yeah.
majority of this year, I primarily focused on baby because, obviously he was
Newborn.
newborn. So
Yeah.
she took a step back, and I kind of took 50 steps forward, pounding the pavement, trying to keep things afloat. But now that she kind of got her bearings back, she's been primarily focused on finishes and finish out stuff like that.
Mhm.
Colors, paint. She likes all of that good jazz. But our I call them a problem. You know, our problem is
Say
that we're both.
challenge.
Hey, our problem is that we're both alphas. You know, we're both hard headed, strong. So you know, I say I want to do this, finish. I want to do that, and I'm on the phone with my peoples and contractors. Like this is where we at, or I'm at the house, and she's like, no, I don't like it. You know, and then I don't like it. You know, and so you get a little blend. You're obviously a relation, any type of home life or anything like that. It blends into your work life. You know,
Bruh.
so you know it's a me. My challenge is navigating that because it's like I don't care. I want to do it this way, but obviously as a partner, I can't operate like that.
Nope.
And that causes every other piece of drama that we could name. So you know we're working on just making sure that we keep the category specific conversations in that moment and handle the other stuff later. So if we're at the house talking about the house, it's just nothing but the house, nothing else. We're not talking about nothing. And then once we get into something else, we'll go there. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'll run
you
by
got
everything by her.
yeah, shit. You got 150K on the line. Y'all gonna talk about some stuff at the house.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
We
mean,
gonna
for
talk
sure.
this out now.
But I do run a lot of stuff by her. I mean, she comes and say, hey, this is how I want to finish out this house, and this is how I want to do this and things like
So
that. So I just go. But to me, you know, I can get a house up. You know what I mean? But at some point, sometimes, man, I just don't. I'm not about to sit here and look at different types of tile all day.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I appreciate her coming in. And so now she says, hey, make it look like this. And I go make it happen. You know.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, my wife got me with that one time on a flip. I was like, no, I want to, on this particular flip, I want to be involved in all of those finished designs. And she got with the designer. And like after an hour, I was like, all right, you got it.
Yeah.
I ain't sitting through all that.
And I usually
So
do, but I mean, I caught myself one day, man. I laid some tile next to some vinyl and some carpet. I'm like, I don't want to be here. You know, I walked away. I just like I'll take a picture, send it to her, hand it later. She's like, I got to see it in person. Well, come see it because I'm done. You know what I mean? So,
right.
they, I've already got the house up. Like I don't want to think about nothing else. You know.
Facts.
But
Facts.
it's been cool, and I'm excited to see our journey. I mean, we obviously butt heads on a lot of little knickknacks and things, but I'm excited to see now that she's coming out of like full mom focused mode to bring to her to flourish because she was pregnant during the entire come up, you know. And so I'm excited to see her flourish in this space, her own. You know what I mean?
Her and both of y'all in particular, y'all about to get it popping. Y'all about to hit that next gear, bro. I'm excited to see
Oh
it
man,
too.
it's gonna be amazing. We're in the process right now of buying our first $1 million deal, and you know, just building a construction and doing all of that, bro. So that's one big thing we're excited about. But I also just got into my first duplex. Just bought one of my. Funny enough, man, I caught a steal of a deal. It was it was a single family home, and then I took the zoning and learned that it was duplex. It was zoned duplex. I
Mm,
said, oh, okay, this is nice. Obviously, I ain't got the budget for it, but you know, I'm gonna front what I can to get it up because that'll be my first buy and hold. I don't have any buy and holds.
hmm
You know what I mean? So that'll be my first deal that I keep because it only
That's a
makes
great
sense.
one. That's a
Yeah, it
great
only
one.
makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
No.
excited, man. We're doing little things like that, and I'm in that area hunting because there's a small pocket in South Dallas that's all multifamily zone. That I don't know if people know or not, but that pocket is just like way underdeveloped, way underdeveloped. So I'm gonna come in there and try to scoop the whole block up. Uh,
Absolutely.
see what we
I
can
love,
do.
I love, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Man, bro, so much I really wanted to get to, man. So we're definitely gonna have to continue these conversations and
Sure.
bring you back on here and chop it up. Yeah, man, like I said, I want to be respectful of your time and I know you got so much going on. So but yeah, man, I just want to say first, thank you so much for, jumping on the pod and just sharing the game, man. It's like, damn, Chris, you are wise, bro. Like, how old are you, bro? How old are you?
Bro, I'm 27.
Hell no, nah, man. You too wise to be 27, man. You got one of them
Oh
old souls,
man.
man. That's a
Yeah,
that's a
for
blessing,
sure.
bro.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. I really been trying to just learn and figure it out. You know what I mean? But when you seek, man, you do get what you're looking for. I don't know the duration, but you do get what you're looking for, man. So I've learned so much things, but I look after, like, I think a lost art right now, and I'll wrap it up, bro, because I could talk your head off all day.
No,
But
you
I
good.
think a lost art is listening to the people, just listening to people older than you or been in the game longer or not, because there's just so many things you learn. I'm just a sponge to this. And it's funny because I'm never big dogging nobody, and I ever, because there's so much value that if I knew that at my young age and my little come up that I could provide value to people, I know that everybody that I come across more than likely can provide value to me. So I'm always
Absolutely. And like, yeah, the thing about trying to big dog somebody is like, for one, you don't know who you're talking, like what people have and don't have. And then two is like, it's in poor judgment, but like, there's always somebody else doing it bigger. That's what I was trying to say.
always,
Like,
always.
always,
It's
bro.
funny, man,
Like,
because my mentor, not to cut you off, my mentor, like,
yeah.
he was just like a year and a half ago, just doing what I was doing. And he's doing $3.5 million cribs. And so it's just so funny because I'll go to his houses just to get inspiration. You know what I mean? But it's funny because, like, I'm like, bro, you legit was just doing these 300s. Like, where is but he got the same type of hustle as everybody, man. He just dives straight in. So the last thing I'll say too, man, is like, when I first bought my first deal, when I realized possible, I went and bought 5 houses like in the next 3 months. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't play, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bought a million, and then I started buying every 6 weeks after. So I mean, we had deals just rolling off the plate, finishing them. So I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
you just figure out your lane, man, and then power through it, and it'll come, man, for sure. So anybody who watching it, man, I'm just like, I'm a living testimony of, and I didn't go into detail about nothing really, but man, you can get to where you got to go. I promise you, it just takes a little bit of finesse. That's all it does, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. And if someone's interested to tap in with you and get some more information, how can they reach out to you? What's the best way?
Man, just the best way is to hit me on my Instagram for real.
And
It's
what's your
Chris
Instagram?
Wavy, CHRISS_SWAVEY. I think there's a
Okay.
couple of Y's. But you'll see. And then my company, Silver Key Homes. I mean, we run that one every now and again. But you know how it is running two different pages yourself. You ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So
Coming from the guy who 2000x somebody's content, but
funny because I never beefed up my own social media, bro. And I think about that all the time.
because you get into it, when you're busy, yeah. But one thing I will do is I will have your handle under
Yeah.
your name on the final cut, and we'll put Silver Key and anything else you want access
That should
to
be
your
good.
yeah
Yeah, that should be
on
good.
the description. So, man, so many other questions, so much stuff I want to get to, but yeah, we let's wrap it up. And what I like to end with on all of these conversations is, Chris, when it's all said and done, what does Chris want to be remembered for?
Ooh, I think about this a lot, bro. What do I want to be remembered for? I mean, and it's just, I want people to know that, you know, like, honestly, and it's just a few things going through my head, man. But I want people to know that I really, really hustle to the top, man. And I'm not even at the top, but when I get there or whenever it comes, because I guess it's not, but like, I really got it there. But I'm a person of value, both giving and taking. But lastly, I just want to be able to start letting people know that I was a definition of leverage, man. And it's possible to be whoever you want to be. So I think that's it.
Dope. No, for sure, for sure. And yeah, like, because you mentioned you're not at the top, but we have these aspirations where we want to go. But let's and I hear you saying it already but take some time to not only just appreciate and admire where we're at, because there was a point where you said corporate America wasn't for you, it may be for some people, but it wasn't particularly for you, and that you didn't see the trajectory of your life going that way. So you got out of that and changed that, bro. A lot of people, for whatever reason, either can't or don't get out of situations that they don't like. And at 27, you figured that out. So
Yeah, I mean, and I tell people this every day. Like you just take an hour a day to do whatever you to learn whatever you do. It like we blow an hour, man, and that's all I do. And keep your task to one thing a day, 1 to 2 maybe. If you say I want to get these 2 things done today and I feel accomplished, that's all you need to do every day. So an hour and 2 tasks, man. Like my task lists are very small every day, but I get a lot of stuff done because of that. I keep it simple
and
you know?
focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
man. I appreciate you.
Gems. I love it. Hey, so yeah, man, Chris, man, like I said, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on here and really talk to your game. So, man, salute to you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be out there in Houston, man. Might just have to take a trip. I might just have to go ahead and book
You
it.
need hit me.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then we will offline. I'll talk to you about some other places as well, because like I said, I'm looking to expand out in Dallas, and we could talk about that. But
Yes, sir.
But yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, this has been another episode of Masterminds. Please tap in with us and check us out on every Thursday. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can check out the visual on YouTube. Hit the follow, share it if you found this valuable and you like what you're seeing. So until next time, peace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.